It is the 5th of the 11th, 2013. This is your Radioactive Reality. I'm going to start off tonight by making a little comment. I've been seeing a lot of videos here lately about food you should be eating, calcium supplements, and other things you should be taking to help protect yourself a little bit from this radiation. My point is the radiation's already covered the entire northern hemisphere, and all these studies were made pre-Fukushima about the vegetables that you can eat, and calcium pills, and magnesium pills, and other kinds of things. And there's people putting out videos on, hey, ingest this, but what you're not realizing is that the entire food system is contaminated, from the Pacific to the crops in the fields. It's coming down in the rain, it's in the very air we breathe. So, the insanity continues. Just be advised, where do these pills come from? Who's making this stuff? And where's your vegetables coming from? In a fallout zone? Any news? ABC Radio, cancer cases in Fukushima emerging faster than expected. Japan surgeon, I am very angry. It's very strange officials won't release basic data. Criminal. Photos. Sea Star began ripping itself to pieces like a horror movie. Associated Press, deaths from Alaska to Southern California. Biologists related to an environmental change? Question mark. An early warning that we aren't picking up on? Professor, none of us has ever seen anything like this before. We're just getting started, folks. We're just getting started. Postponed. Big surprise. Fuel removal attempt at Fukushima Unit Number 4 delayed, possibly for weeks. Government Safety Agency wants tests conducted as another magnitude 5 quake hits eastern Japan. They didn't plan on doing tests before they started all this thing? What a bunch of crap. Japan nuclear engineer, I don't think they'll ever get Fukushima's melted cores. We'll probably start covering reactors in concrete. German expert, main case areas in a sarcophagus. They're trying to cork the bottle. The trouble is, they put a nice big cork on the top of this bottle, but the bottom's busted out of it. The insanity continues. Fukushima workers, I wanted to escape from nuclear plant, but feared they might hurt me. At parties, we were forced to eat radioactive mushrooms and bee larvae gathered from inside the evacuation zone. Quote, they called my mother to tell her I was in trouble. Now, this guy finally did escape from the Fukushima plant. He's saying they made him pay for these radioactive meals, that some guy got the stuff from the immediate area, and we're making these people eat this food 2 or 3 times a week. I wonder why everybody's getting sick. ABC correspondent, nobody knows where the Fukushima's melted cores are now, expert says. Nobody knows. TEPCO admitted fuel is actually eating through the concrete. Hopefully it's not eating through any further. Let's all hope, shall we? Give me a break. Sardine population plummets along the U.S. West Coast. Collapse of species is feared. Quote, Canadian Pacific fishermen catch no sardines in 2013. Something is amiss. We got sea stars and sardines and dolphins and whales, seals and bears and everything else. The insanity continues, but we don't know what's wrong. We don't know what's wrong. U.S. Energy Secretary shocked and stunned after being at Fukushima plant. 970 days later, unprecedented and daunting task ahead for Japan. America has direct interest, no shit, in TEPCO doing things safely. And with the Japanese mob in charge of the cleanup crew, we can go to sleep resting peacefully, knowing that's happening, can't we? Deep magnitude 5 quake jolts eastern Japan. Highly dangerous fuel rod removal, quote, will not permit even the slightest tremor at the Fukushima plant. And again, these fuel pools have already burned. The NRC documents have stated this. We've told you time and time again. Yes, they're warped. Yes, they're in big pieces together. Yes, they're broken apart down on the bottom of the tank. The insanity continues. But don't worry, folks, they're on it. New and disturbing development around Fukushima. Worrying claims of cancer cluster emerging. Specialists deeply concerned. But yet they're not releasing any facts, any data on this. They're suppressing all this information. Former diplomat, Fukushima disaster to go on almost to infinity, I'm afraid. Quote, it will never be resolved. If situation at plant continues, Bloomberg, Prime Minister, told his own party, quote, Japan's response is failing. So now, 970 days later, they're starting to ask for help. Got to keep that profit margin. You got to remember, they did show a profit this year. They did. Fox News, wave of slightly radioactive water from Fukushima predicted to reach the U.S. in 2014. Slightly. Cancer expert, current exposure guidelines are far too high. Well, they're just going to raise them a little more. A very low dose of radiation is dangerous, and they've done studies with the x-rays. Remember, you can't get too many x-rays because all that radiation doubles your chance of cancer. Just a few x-rays. What's all this crap doing to us? We're just getting started. Professor, there are fuel rods probably fused in Fukushima unit number 4. You think? Pool on bent legs and lateral supports were not put in when first built. No lateral supports put in. International concern about catastrophic open air meltdown, which has already happened twice. 3 and 4. Where's the number 3 fuel pool? Somebody find it for me. CBC headline, radiation from Fukushima arrives on Alaska coast. University scientists concerned, is the food supply safe? I don't think anyone can really answer that definitively, he said. Definitively. Goddamn lawyers. Seattle TV, warning, video of the melting sea stars might be disturbing. Scientists are so concerned about rapidly spreading die-off on the west coast. Doubled in just a few days. Jellyfish numbers are booming. Again, with the Great Tsunami, the industrialized coast that was Japan, all swept out into the Pacific. It's not just the radiation we're dealing with. God knows what chemical soup mix is splashing up against our coastline right now. You got to think about that. Top scientist, Fukushima is the most terrifying situation I can imagine. I've seen a paper which it says it's bye-bye Japan and to evacuate North America West Coast if Unit 4 goes after quake and rods are exposed. The rods have been exposed. It's already happened and nobody's evacuated. Shit. Study on IEA website. Core meltdown risk now around 1,000 times higher because of Fukushima. Engineer nuclear disaster, a certainty over the next 30 years in Europe. This is just one. We have over 400 known nuclear reactors in operation across the world. It's only a matter of time, folks. It's only a matter of time. We need to shut every single one of these down right this very moment and start dealing with this mess, or this mess is going to deal with us. Shocking treatment of U.S. nuclear whistleblowers sent to office and basement with rat poison after warning of Fukushima-like explosion. Another given office in storage room with drums of radioactive waste and asbestos soon after having chemotherapy. They're trying to kill these whistleblowers. They're trying to kill us and anybody else standing in the way of their profit. Welcome to the machine. Lawmaker warns Emperor of Reality facing Japan. Quote, children are suffering from health problems. Another official reveals the incidence of cancer in children has been increasing and is heckled in Japanese parliament. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. It's all about the profit. It's all about the profit. Nuclear engineer, the question is, why all of a sudden the urgency at Fukushima plant? What do they know? They're obviously feeling the pressure. It's like one move away from checkmate, and it's been one move away from checkmate for a very long time. The insanity continues. Over to Fukushima Diary, Daily News. Contaminated water will be discharged into the Pacific Ocean. TEPCO will end up discharging the contaminated water into the sea. Quote, Pacific Ocean. In the second quarter of 2013, they invested 22 billion yen to build new tanks that are welded together and not just bolted and together, leaking tanks that they are, but they're still going to pour all this water into the ocean, as we've known, and I've been telling you over and over again. They're just dumping it into the sea. Any excuse. Cesium-137 detected in the seawater near the outlet of plant drain outside the port. Again. Now, one of the employees already told us they're dumping water illegally and not telling anybody. This just goes to prove it continues and continues and continues. Contamination water overflows by June 2015 without bypass and subdrain pumping. And again, 22 billion yen spent on additional contamination of water storage. TEPCO not to let any other organization take over Fukushima plant. Quote, we know the plant more than anyone else. And of course it goes on and on. Finally tonight I'm going to go over to Informative. Japan should accept liability to receive internal help at Fukushima Daiichi. United States Energy Secretary Ernest Moniz requested that Japan join a treaty called the Convention of Supplementary Compensation for Nuclear Damages. This treaty collects funds for participating nations to assist with payments for damages resulting from nuclear disasters. That means you and I, American public, and the world, we're going to start paying for this too. It's not just the Japanese people flipping the bill anymore. What most mainstream media sources failed to relate was the treaty also assigns accident liability to the operators of the nuclear power plant, rather than vendors which develop the technology or construct the equipment. So basically they're going to wipe GE's liability off the charts. It's no longer GE's responsibility. They're the ones that built these reactors. They're the ones that designed these reactors. They're the ones that own these reactors. You got to remember, TEPCO just operates. To receive help from the United States, essentially told Japan they would have to incur the losses and sign a treaty which would prevent them from seeking compensation from contracted companies like those which built and constructed the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, and instead must satisfy itself only with seeking repayment from the operator. Sure, we'll come help you, but we're not taking any liability. We're going to give you a little bit of money. You could have made a butt-ton in court, but now, thanks for the cash, sucker. And with that, that's about all I have for you today. Of course, if I missed anything, please leave your comment below. Send me a personal message. Smoke signals, whatever. Enjoy it while you can, everybody. Thanks.